Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Steel Tarot. Today is Monday, June 12th. Had to pause and think about that for a minute. It's hard to believe we're already almost halfway through June. I'm back for your weekly reading. I'm doing it a day later than I typically do. I was up in Arcadia National Park in Bar Harbor, Maine. If you've ever been there, it's an amazing place, wonderful, serene, peaceful, amazing for hiking. There's just so many great things about it. I just can't say enough about the place. If you get a chance to go up there, I would certainly advocate for that. And, definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me here. Any ideas on hiking? If you like to hike, it's an amazing spot. So it is a great place. A little chilly at night because it is kind of northern Maine, and we're still in kind of very early. And technically, it's still spring, so it's not quite summer yet. But beautiful, beautiful place. I loved every second of it. It was a great opportunity for me to kind of reconnect, and I did some great meditations, and I did some yoga right on the lawn in front of the beach. It was just probably one of the best settings for that kind of thing, and I slept so well. Of course, I had a bottle of wine, so I should have slept well. But anyway, so today, this weekly reading, I thought I would do something. We're going to call it a message from your future self. And the first question is going to be, what do you need to know, or what do you need to know and let go of today? And then how do you allow more love to flow into your life, right? That's always the big thing. How do we let more in? How do we let more in? And then what do you need to create more balance in your life? There's always something a little bit out of balance, but, so how do we create more balance? And then what do you need to do to bring more satisfaction, tranquility, and peace into your life? Okay? So I will use the Crow Tarot. I can clarify if need be. We'll kind of gauge it and play it by ear. And for that, I probably would use the Pride Tarot since it's June and it's Pride Month. So let's jump right into this. What do you need to know to let go of today? I'm going to hold the cards this way. The Chariot. What do you need to know and let go of today? What do you need to do to allow more love to flow into your life? We have the Seven of Wands. That is Wands, right? Seven of Wands. Yep, that's Wands. I had to look kind of closely. Some of these cards I still haven't seen, because I've been only using them for a couple of weeks. What do you need to create more balance in your life? The Hierophant. Okay. And then lastly, how do you bring more satisfaction and tranquility into your life? So we have the Two of Cups. Well, inherently, like, satisfaction and tranquility, Two of Cups is kind of like a balance and a partnership, that kind of thing. So we'll kind of see. Let's just jump right into it here, and we'll do some clarifiers. I'm going to use the Pride Tarot deck for the clarifiers. Okay, so what do you need to let go of today? So what I get right off the bat here is the Chariot. The Chariot is all about kind of taking the reins. You're in control. Overall, it's a great card. What do you need to let go of today? Maybe it's the need for perfection. So I'm kind of getting it's that need for constant, significant change and approval. Approval just kind of popped up. So if you, and maybe it's not letting go so much as it is appreciating the small steps. Everything is small steps towards big steps, right? And I think when you appreciate the small steps, what we know is when we appreciate anything, we welcome and welcome more of it into our experience in our lives. So from the perspective of what do you need to let go of today, the Chariot's kind of like, you probably are beating up on yourself is what I'm getting. You're maybe being a little too hard on yourself and not acknowledging the progress that you are, in fact, making. You're making continual progress is what I'm getting. It's just slow, and it's not necessarily, appreciate the baby steps. Appreciate the subtle changes. And so what I would think you might want to do here is kind of take a look back at, how have I changed over the past year, over the past 2 years? What has worked well for me? Where am I today? How do I feel mentally? How do I live my life on a daily basis? And then kind of acknowledge that progress you've made. And also professionally too, right? From a relationship standpoint, what is going well for you now that might not have been going so well before? Also, from a career standpoint, same thing, right? Think about that from that perspective, okay? But let's see if we can get some more information on the Chariot. So tell us more about the Chariot. What do we need to let go of today? What do we need to let go of today? And we're going to use the upright card here. So the Three of Swords. So The Three of Swords is, that past hurt, that pain, that, maybe something, maybe you were kind of taking the lead on something in the past and it didn't go so well. Or, maybe you've been kind of beating yourself up on something that didn't, you had this great expectation and it didn't come to fruition. And you're kind of holding on to that and beating yourself up. But the reality is, as we know from the law of attraction, the longer we acknowledge, the more and more you kind of reflect back on that experience that brought you heartache and pain, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference, right? Your subconscious mind only knows what you give your attention to. So it will focus on, what you focus on is what it acknowledges as being meaningful to you. It doesn't differentiate and say, well, this is good and this is bad. It just says, okay, we're focusing on this, we want more of that. Find more examples of this. Bring more of this into the experience. Go, and the subconscious mind seeks to manifest more of that in your reality. So, if you've been beating yourself up over something you need to move on from that, okay? That's definitely what I'm getting with this Three of Swords here. Some sort of pain, disappointments, maybe, maybe this could be relationship oriented, doesn't have to be. I'm getting like with the Chariot, I get something more like from a professional standpoint. Like you had really grand expectations, and maybe you were like, "This is going to be great, this is going to be impactful," and maybe it wasn't, and maybe that has nothing to do with you, and you need to kind of stop beating yourself up over it because it's really kind of holding you back. It's kind of what I'm getting with that. So let's see what the other cards have to say here. How do you allow more love to flow into your life? So we have the seven of wands. So the Seven of Wands, you think about like the Seven of Wands in general, right? In this card too. This is being this is being in a position of power. This is having conviction and belief in what you know to be true, right? And so, this might be standing up for yourself, standing up for others, standing up for what you believe and what you want, and being true to yourself, and knowing that you have all of the power within you. And not only that, but having, like, when we think about the Seven of Swords and having the conviction, right, and having the belief, what he's doing is he's defending himself from the top of the mountain or the top of the level. And you're seeing here with the crows as well. But I also think that is also knowing that you're worthy of whatever it is that you want, right? So know that you are worthy of that relationship and remind yourself of that. You're worthy of that particular relationship. And, someone would be lucky to be with you. And if you've got somebody, they should appreciate and acknowledge the fact that, hey, they are lucky to have you. And, you believe and you know that you deserve a loving and fulfilling relationship with a particular person, and also just even more broadly with other people in your life, right? So this is having that conviction and have that power and confidence in yourself. I get confidence too, right? Seven of Wands, he is standing and he is kind of, again, defending himself, but he's also in a position of power and he knows it. So you're in a great position and you just need to remember that. And also, stand up for what you want, and don't settle for less is just something that just came into mind. The saying just came into my mind. Don't settle for less. Okay, let's get a little bit more information though. Tell us more about how to allow love to flow into your life, and what does that mean? What does the Seven of Wands mean? How can we let more love flow into our lives? Let more love flow into your life. The Strength card. So again, same kind of thing, right? You are strong. You deserve everything. You deserve love. You deserve to have fulfilling romantic and friend and platonic relationships. So I think the first step to anything is believing that you deserve something, believing and acknowledging that you are worthy of something and you are worthy of the best. And also remember that the people that are around you, the people that you engage with that are in your life, are just mere reflections of your inner state, okay? So what that means is, if you're surrounded by people who are strong, who are confident, who are successful, who present themselves well, who are healthy, who are active people, that's kind of also a reflection of you. You're probably successful in your own right. You probably have, a similar type of exercise regimen, and that's the kind of thing you are who you surround yourself with, right? And so that's something to keep in mind here is, like, if you exhibit that strength and that determination and that acknowledgement that I am worthy, that I deserve this particular strong relationships, that I deserve strong and meaningful relationships that challenge me, love that feels genuine, authentic, and think about how you feel with love, right? When someone loves you, Now, the whole concept of non unconditional love is loving the person regardless of what they do. Abraham Hicks talks a lot about that, right? Unconditional love. And, we only can feel unconditional love when we feel strong and powerful within ourselves and that we feel satisfaction within ourselves, right? If it's conditional love, it's the kind of thing like, I will love you in these circumstances, but not these particular circumstances. And that's when you're kind of giving your power away, right? And you need to kind of recenter that. So, kind of went off on a little tangent here, but how do you allow more love into your life? Remember that the people around you are just a mere reflection of what you are inside. And then you need to remind yourself that you are strong. Find that power, find that strength. Acknowledge the fact that you have a lot, you bring a lot to the table, right? And really stand up for your convictions. What's important to you? The people around you and the people that you have relationships with, romantic, platonic, whatever they may be, in general, right, you want some alignment with your unique values and your value prop, right? And these people should acknowledge that, hey, you have a lot going for you, and you need to remind yourself of that. And I think when you focus on that and remind yourself of that, you can allow some love to come into your life. And remember, use affirmations like, I am worthy of a loving and strong, fulfilling relationship. I deserve and I cherish my strong platonic relationships with friends and with family. Those are the kind of things, that way, the more and more you say these affirmations, the more they kind of sink into your mind, into your subconscious mind, and you believe them. And then, kind of like when you have a bad experience, you find more of those, right? You find, oh God, like people talk about the power of threes. Oh no, this happened, and now this probably another one more, another one or two more. That's often because we're giving our attention to that. So if you're giving your attention to all these powerful things and you're using these powerful affirmations, you'll attract more of those positive experiences into your life. Now, what do you need to create more balance? So the Hierophant is, all about teaching. This is all about, there is some sort of, there is definitely some, focus around traditions, teaching, clergy. I get a lot of like religion and practices like that. So this might be taking some time and going into yourself. This might be working with a spiritual healer. This could just be even just taking some time and meditating, right? Creating more balance is, might be delving more into the spiritual realm, okay? And when I say the spiritual realm, this could be simply like doing more meditation work, doing more yoga, and kind of focusing on your breath, using affirmations, right? So the Hierophant, like I said, it's more of like, I think of the Hierophant as more like traditions, more orthodox ways of life. So if this showed up and it was like, what do we need to change? I would say, well, maybe you need to get out of your, get out of a particular comfort zone, or break out of some of the traditions and the set ways that you have. And so that could even apply here too, right? So take what resonates here and leave what doesn't, right? So how do you create more balance? One way this could be, now if this were reversed, if this were upside down, if the Hierophant were coming in this way, I would say, yeah, you need to break out of traditions. You need to break away from the patterns that you've been living, and maybe you need to challenge some of your prior thoughts and teachings and things like that. In the upright position, I'm feeling more like this is more like exploring and delving like spiritual teachings, anything related to spiritual endeavors. And what that means to you is different, right? It's going to mean something different to everybody. This could be spending more time, with your religious family, whether it's be like through formal, teachings. It could be also religious type of outings and endeavors, right? Could be volunteer type of things. Could be volunteers, right? But with a spiritual context, right? And it could be something like I said, doing more meditations, doing more type of yoga to kind of get in touch and get into that spiritual realm, and where you're kind of able to release some of the stress, some of the anxieties, and some of the things that hold you back, okay? Let's pull another card for some detail around that. So tell us more about what do we need to create balance? What do you need to create balance? Tell us more about the Hierophant. Okay, so the Lovers. The Lovers is about a choice. So, hey, listen, these cards, creating more balance, this is all about like what a great card. I mean, hey, Pride Month, this is a great card to get, right? So creating more balance. The lovers traditionally, again, I mean, it's a great match. It's a great pairing. This is a relationship, something that's based upon commonalities, being like congruent, being a wonderful match, having balancing balancing one another off and just being a great match. The lovers can also be about a choice or a decision. And maybe this is kind of finding like the middle ground of like, when I look at this, like finding the middle ground between like the teachings and things that are in your mind, and then also just like the genuine feelings that you feel and make when you're with somebody, right? And thinking about like the love that you desire. And this could be the sense that, maybe there's like a focus more on one or the other. So this could be the scenario where, you're seeking love and that companionship, but you're too focused. Maybe there's too much focus on tradition. Maybe you're focusing too much on that. And this is kind of finding a balance between these two scenarios, if any of that makes sense. Because the Hierophant is very much traditions, teachings. I very much think of like religion, orthodox, very traditional kind of situations and teachings. Whereas the lovers, particularly this one here, is very much the opposite, particularly in the Pride Tarot deck. It is anything but, and it's in the upright position, but this is a beautiful card. So maybe getting here, the traditions, orthodox expectations, some of that maybe is holding you back. So I'm not saying let go of all your spiritual teachings, of all your religious upbringing, maybe some of the values that your family has instilled with you, some of the traditions that you and your family observe. It's kind of finding that balance between like, how do I balance these two out, right? And maybe it's consciously focusing on that and focusing on how can I bring balance into this experience. And again, I think you kind of do that in number 2 up here, where we like, how do you allow love to flow into your life, is acknowledging you deserve it, and kind of letting go of some of those painful experiences in the past. What do you need to create more balance? This could be, give me 1 minute here. I'm just going to kind of look at these for a second. What I love about this card is like there's like the Statue of Liberty, and she's rising up above in the backdrop. She's got her arm up, just like you see in the Magician, actually. Creation, right? So this could be really like creating that balance is getting outside of that orthodox traditional type of thinking and thinking outside the box and creating the life and the lover and the relationship that you desire, okay? This could really be using your imagination. That's what I'm getting now. This is lack of imagination. And I don't mean to sound bad about that for people who are very religious. I certainly appreciate and understand all of that. But this could be tradition, orthodox. This is imagination. So I think you need to balance out, like, your imagination is critical when it comes to I think Albert Einstein said something like, the imagination is the window into the future, right? So what you imagine today could manifest tomorrow. And so I think what you want to do is use your vivid imagination, kind of balance that out more. So to create more balance, use your imagination more, set the expectation of like, what would my relationship look like? And then visualize it. Visualize being with that person you want to be with. Visualize being with that group of friends somewhere you want it to go. Really kind of put it into practice and really kind of feel it, okay? And then lastly, how do you bring more satisfaction, tranquility into your life? Peace. How do I feel more content, right? So we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is all about balance, which we just talked about here with the lovers, right? And I think that that's really part of it too, right? Is making decisions, thinking, finding that balance, right? But we really need more information about this, because that in and of itself is just not enough. How do I create more satisfaction, peace, and tranquility into my life? Okay, the Five of Pentacles, tranquility, the High Priestess. I'm gonna pull one more because I feel inspired to do so, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so how do you bring more satisfaction and tranquility into your life? So, I think it's like probably making decisions. Um, Avoiding, you're kind of like leaving behind this period where, the Five of Pentacles is like a period, is like a time of lack, right? Like you need to like walk away from those situations and scenarios that leave you feeling unfulfilled, and then leave you in a period in a state of lack, okay? And this is kind of like what I'm feeling, is that like one of the things that Neville talks about quite a bit is to manifest anything, we need to think of it from the period of like the from the state of I already have it. And that can be difficult to do. But if you tell yourself and you use affirmations that begin with I am in a wonderful relationship. I have a boyfriend or girlfriend that's better than I ever could have imagined. And I receive inspiring ideas and opportunities every day. Something unique and wonderful is going to happen to me today. Something unexpected and wonderful is going to happen to me today. It's one of my favorites. But this is kind of like walking away. So, like the satisfaction, walking away from what doesn't serve you, walking away from the negativity and the anxiety. And, I think Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune is a great turn of events, right? Things are turning in your favor when you start to listen to your intuition, right? So this is why I think meditation is certainly something important and something you want to do, particularly as it relates coming to finding that balance, is when start to listen, when you quiet your mind, you're able to listen to yourself more, and you're also able to listen to your intuition and get more inspiring insights. And you want to take inspired action through inspired insights. And what that means is that when you're in a flow state, you're feeling good, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling positive, you have a positive outlook, you're feeling hopeful, you're feeling joy, you're feeling appreciation and gratitude. When you're feeling those emotions, you are in a high vibe state, and your subconscious mind, the law of attraction will guide you to the things that you have kind of that make you feel joyous, make you feel those positive high vibes. And listen to your intuition for the what we call inspired actions, those impulses that guide you to walk into a particular shop and talk to somebody, and order a cup of coffee and talk to the barista. This could be something as simple as connecting with an old friend and meeting up for dinner. Maybe responding to that Tinder message. Okay, those are some of the sparks of inspiration. I think that we sometimes get, we don't necessarily acknowledge. Hey, that was a good spark. That was a good spark of inspiration. I was inspired to explore that new opportunity, or start that new channel, or whatever the case might be. And that will bring you great satisfaction, right? And I think when you start to see like, hey, things are working out in my favor, like I said, affirmations are wonderful. So write up some affirmations like, things are always working out for me. Money comes to me in unexpected ways. Something unexpected and wonderful is going to happen to me today, this week, this month, whatever your time frame is, whatever you want to think about it. At work, I feel valued and appreciated. That will turn the wheel in your favor, and you'll be feeling pretty damn good, to be honest with you. You just need to get out of that vibe where you're this negativity, or focus on what we don't want, because the more you focus on what you don't want, the more you're going to attract. So listen to your intuition, do some positive affirmations. Remember, the wheel is always turning in your favor. Keep the wheel turned in your favor. Two of Cups again, coming back to balance, decisions. So, I think maybe part of this too is maybe you're indecisive. And if you're able to, make a decision and move on from that and kind of be decisive, and, partner with somebody, and maybe, this is what's going to happen, is maybe you connect with a lot of people, and it kind of goes awry. If you're going to connect with two people, and you do stuff from an inspired state, I feel like you're gonna have have an intuitive hit that says, this is the right person, this is the right situation, this is the right job, this is the right whatever. And if your positive affirmations will keep you high vibe and moving in that direction. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. This is definitely a long one. I apologize for that. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop any questions or comments down below. I look forward to reading those, and I'll be back again soon. Have a great week.